talk about a lot of the ventures that we want to do for next year, and also to finally get Laura hair product business back up and started. So I'm excited for that. So we started Laura's business, and you know, we went through a lot of, actually we had a lot of good times with the business at the beginning. We were pretty much on the road, on the streets. We were selling juices on the streets to raise money for it. So, you know, we didn't really know how to get money. So we, I remember, you know, my mom could tell us, you know, we were up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning making lemonades and a whole bunch of different things like that to try to, man, I hope somebody's okay. Do we have insurance on this? Okay? You know, we'll pretty much walk from Eastern Parkway in New York all the way to like downtown Brooklyn, and you know, dragging a cart and selling juices just to raise money in order to get Laura's hair product business up and running. You know, and I don't want to go too much into that. She's going to come back later on and she's going to give you guys a great presentation on that. But it's very funny how it all started. Laura was making products for herself and her friends, and she was, you know, when I met her, that's what she was doing. And you know, obviously, if you really know me, my eyes always think entrepreneurship and business and start a business. So when I told her that, I said, yeah, we got to start that into a business. You know, it seems like, you know, if you can make products and your friends like it, then we can actually probably make something of it. So we gave it a good push, and we got a good amount of sales in the first couple of months that we did push it. She held off on that because we had a lot of business ventures that we did, and we went there. Obviously, I have a lot of people in the room that know about that very much. And now I've told her that because she took a lot of time out to help me build the business that we have now, that we're going to put right back a lot of energy into her business and get that thing started. So give her another round of applause on the side. All right, so let's go right into it. All right, we have a long night tonight, and I don't want it to be too long. But my job here tonight is to inspire as much as possible. I know that we have a lot of people watching right now. Is that Periscope or is that Google?
Periscope.
Periscope. All right, so we need to Google on your phone. Who's doing that? Yeah, just press play. And I know there's a lot of people texting me that they can't make it, so we're gonna live stream this also, so that people can watch. My job tonight, if I'm any, you know, successful tonight, my job is to try to inspire and bridge a light for the dreamers, the thinkers, the entrepreneurs, the people that want to think from that perspective. You know, this one thing that I dedicated 10 years of my life into. I met, you know, somebody 10 years ago when I was in a pizza store, and he was the first multi-millionaire that I've ever met in my entire life, sitting eating pizza from across from me, and we got into a 4-hour conversation, which I told him I'm going to write a book about one day. You know, that 4-hour conversation is the conversation that really put me on that path to entrepreneurship. He met me, and we got into a great relationship, got into business together, introduced me to a gentleman that I have in the room here tonight, which I'm going to introduce him a little bit later on today, but he was pretty much one of my first inspirations also in that field of entrepreneurship. So when I was thinking about this event, I pretty much said, you know, I don't really want a major event with 100 people. I just wanted to get a lot of close friends. So, you know, I told Laura and myself to just reach out to a lot of our close friends and get them out so that we can celebrate together, talk together, and pretty much start planning out the whole thing. So can I talk about entrepreneurship? Let me ask you a question. Who has a business in here? Raise your hand so I can see. Business. Who has, oh hi, how you doing? Who has the idea of starting a business one day? Raise your hands. Business, starting business. All right, who does not know how to do it? Raise your hands. All right, cool. So we got a majority of people here. Man. We got a majority of people that know how to do it, and we have people that know how to do it, haven't done it yet. We have some people that have done it, probably are successful in it. So let's talk about why entrepreneurship. Why am I making it such a big thing to talk about entrepreneurship? I believe that entrepreneurship is one of the, let's put it like this, all right? Majority of the people that we know, we normally have a system that we were all born and taught to live our lives, which is to get up, go to school, get a good education, and go get a good job. There's nothing wrong with going to school, so I'm not going to talk about going to school. But look at the mindset that we were normally taught. We were taught to get a good job. We were taught to go and find somebody to provide us a job. And that was pretty much what we were taught, because when you find somebody with a job, you are considered safe, right? Is this true? Right? However, there's no safety in that. All right, what is the safety of working for somebody else? Because the truth is, every minute of the day they can get up and they can look at you and they can say, what? You're fired. Now, you built a lot of your expenses and built a lot of your bills and a lot of everything on this job, that at one moment in time you can get a phone call to say, I'm so sorry, we have to do this. My brother, give my brother a no shot. My brother, he was a stockbroker at the American Stock Exchange, right? So pretty much I grew up wanting to be a stockbroker, right? So my very first job ever was at the American Stock Exchange, all right? So I was like a broker assistant, 16-year-old kid making a lot of money when I was doing that. But I thought that was the idea. I was like, man, stockbroker, man, this is probably a great job. He took that job, built a nice house in Long Island, very like the biggest house in the whole block, and it was living a very great lifestyle. And then there was a day that came, and that day came where he got a phone call basically saying that the firm that he works for is now being bought, and everybody in the firm is what? It's now fired. So think about this now. Now he just built a whole lifestyle on something that now he had to retreat from. Now, to me, that's not security in any sense of the word, right? Because at any moment in time, if somebody can control my fate and my family's fate, that now leaves me to say either a couple things. One, I probably have to go back to school now to get another degree in order for me to get another job. Or two, oh man, now I got to get my resume back together and try to figure out to hopefully have somebody pay, give me some type of job. If I have to live my life like this, who's in control throughout my whole entire life? Not me. And the truth of the matter is, what I would do is I would spend a lot of my life going through it, looking at other people that are probably getting much more success, much more money, probably buying houses and living different types of lifestyle, and wondering that these are the special people. You know what I mean? These are the unique individuals, and for some reason it seems like I can't get myself together in that department. Right? This is how we were taught, and there's nothing wrong with this, but this is a systematic thing that even when you look at TV and media, they'll make you seem that somebody that actually became a multimillionaire in business, they are something special, that they have this like special juices. One thing that, and obviously we're in a church building. Thank you, Pastor Galbraith. Give us Pastor Galbraith, man, for letting us use the building. But I'm gonna talk about Jay-Z just for a second, right? So Jay-Z, he wrote, he built the Barclays Center. We all know about that, right in downtown Brooklyn, and he was one of the people that helped build it. And one of the things that he said when he stood on stage, and I never forgot this, he stood on stage, and it was a moment where his dreams became reality, right? His dreams became reality. He always envisioned building a stadium right in his backyard where he came from, bringing the Dodgers and the whole thing he talked about. But one thing that he said that I found to be very amazing, he said that he doesn't believe that God gave some people this special talent and some people just no talent. Like, you would look at him on the stage and say, oh my gosh, God probably blessed him to be great, but you really don't have that much greatness. He said he believed that God gave every person in this room and pretty much throughout the world some special talent within themselves in order for them to be great. Now, since obviously we do have a lot of people we're in the church, I could probably bring a Bible analogy to it. We talked about the talents, right? Some 10, some 5, some 1, right? Think about it. The person that got the one talent probably could have looked kind of like, man, why you gave me one talent? Versus the person that got 10 talents. But I do believe that if you have the 1 or the 10, it still can give you same level of increase. Steve Jobs had one talent, which was Apple. And that one idea made him a multi-billionaire, and we still use it today. Or you can be Jay-Z that have a bunch of talents, investing into multiple different things. But that idea of taking ownership of your ideas and your dreams is what I'm here to talk about and try to inspire tonight. So we kind of coined this a night for the entrepreneurs, a night for the thinkers. So let me just give you this one concept, and I'm going to get out your way. Monday to Friday, we normally go to work. Friday time, we get our nice paycheck. Now, a lot of people that know me, they know that this is one of my famous teachings. If I would have a board, I would just give you the whole breakdown. Friday, we get paid, and this is obviously a slight excerpt from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Anybody read that book, by the way? All right, so I'm going to give you a slight Johnism from Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Monday to Friday, we go to work. Friday, we get paid. Everybody's happy on payday, right? Paydays come, everybody's happy. Everybody wants to get paid. We're going out. That's why movies come out Fridays, right? That's the reason why you go you go to a nice restaurant on Fridays. You go to eat fine style on Fridays. You go shopping on Fridays, right? Or Saturdays. You go do grocery shopping. Everybody do grocery shopping on Saturdays? All right? Go grocery shopping on Saturdays, right? Normally Monday comes, and when Monday comes, we're normally in this tight predicament, all right? If you go to church, you probably give your tithe. The offering Monday comes, it's like, I have no money. Right? So you're probably going out on Monday, on Friday to a nice restaurant, and you're probably going to fast food on Tuesdays. Does anybody know that lifestyle? Right. So it's like, we have to go back to work. In order for us to make more money, think about this, in order for us to make more money, we have to go back to work. Now, that's pretty much what we were taught. We have to go back to work. I have to clock in on Monday morning. It is a must. It is essential that I do this. Clock in on Monday morning and clock back out on Friday to get a check again in order for me to what? Be happy again, right? So when Monday comes and I'm not happy again, in order for me to continue this lifestyle, I have to do what? Clock back in. Now you start realizing that by Mondays and Fridays and Mondays and Fridays and Mondays and Fridays, you're going in a rotating circle. And what Robert Kiyosaki would say that this is what he calls the rat race. It's like the hamster in the wheel that's running. Everybody see that analogy? So the hamster is running in the wheel, and in his mind, he thinks he's what? He's going somewhere. But he's not going nowhere. But he's running with fury. You know what I mean? And with great resistance. Like, I got to get there. So basically what he's saying is 98% of the world is living in this concept of rat race, where we wake up, we go in, we clock in on Monday, we clock out on Friday, we clock in on Monday, we clock out on Friday, we clock in on Monday, we clock in on Friday. Somewhere along the way, we probably said, oh man, I got this nice job now, I got a nice raise, I'm probably making $20 an hour, which I don't know if that's good or not. I'm being honest with you, I haven't done a regular, so it's, like some of y'all probably say $20 an hour, I can do that. I don't know if that's good or not. But we probably say $20 an hour and probably say, oh man, I have a good job. You got $20 an hour, and guess what you do with the $20 an hour job? You probably get more liabilities, right? Is it true? Probably going to get the nicer cars. You can come to your job or the church and make everybody know that God has richly blessed you, right? And you do all these different things. You put more bills on top of yourself that you have to go clock in on Monday and Friday in order to get. Hi, Sarah. Hey, how you doing? In order for you, do we have the Google? It's working? No, it's not going? Okay. So that's a rat race, Monday to Friday, just a consistent rotating cycle. So my question is, and can I get a little bit more deep before I get off the stage? Because this is where I normally want to dive in a little bit, right? My thing is this, right? If I normally see a lot of people within this cycle, right? Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. When 2% probably funds 98%, 2% is living on this fast track, you would call it, 98% is probably stuck in this rat race, then how much percentage of that is the people that we know?
A big percentage.
A whole lot.
A lot?
If it's 98% of the world, think about this for a second. If it's 98% of the world, then the question I normally ask is how much percentage of that is people that we know? And the truth of the matter is, for a lot of us, it's probably 100%. Because a lot of us, we probably don't really know that many people that really know a lot about money, or a lot about what to do with money, or how to make money work with you. One of the things that make me cringe around this time period, can I tell you what's going to make me cringe? Oh, Dave's probably giggling. What makes me cringe around this time period is sometimes our greatest solution to getting out of poverty, we feel, is just to save your money. Now, I was taught this lesson about 10 years ago. I met the millionaire, like I said, we sat down for a long conversation. He asked me the first question. John, what would you do if I gave you $1,000? Now, at this time, it was pretty much 11 years ago. At this time, I was 19 years old, and I was brought up in Brooklyn, New York, and everybody knows what a 19-year-old boy in Brooklyn, New York is going to do with money. He's not going to do anything good with it. At that time, I'm probably going to buy a lot of Jordans and buy a lot of fitted hats and look very good. I remember that days where I would go to places and go to convocations, and I'm looking very good with no money in my pocket. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much the teenage life. So that was really what I was thinking I would do. But of course, I'm a little smarter than that. So I'm not going to tell this guy that's sitting in front of me that I'm going to go buy Jordan. I'm going to give him what I feel like is the best answer. So I told him that I'm going to probably take some money, pay off some bills, and I'm going to save the money. And he said, and that's the reason why you will always be broke. So that was now like, huh? Because, I was told that this was the way to go. He said, yeah, because what stays in one location eventually dies. Now, I started digging into that a little deeper, right? The dollar now, in 2016, the dollar is worth less than the dollar 10 years ago. Is this true? Right? So you now save your money into this savings for a lifetime in order to do what? To be rich when you get older, right? But yet you still clock in, clock out Monday to Friday, and then all of a sudden you get to this point where you're now 60-something, 70-something years old, and you have to retire from your job. My dad still has to work right now. Kind of sad, right? My dad still has to work right now. He's about 73 years old. He told me yesterday that he wants to retire. The reason why he can't retire yet is because the lifestyle that he was told about 20, 30 years ago that he was going to have when he gets to 70-something years old is not there anymore. But guess what? It's still there residually. Bills. That's right. So he now is like, okay, if I retire now, how am I going to pay these bills? So now what he's looking back is in retrospect. He's now saying to himself, well, if I had done things a little bit differently a couple of years ago, then I probably would have set myself up a little differently now, right? And this is normally what a lot of people go through, right? It's just the cold hard fact. That's what Robert Kiyosaki says, that is the rat race, right? So my question is, what keeps people there then? Right? What keeps people there? What keeps people stuck in a rat race concept rather than saying, you know what, I'm going to now step out and do something different? Now, one of the major things that I think keeps people there is fear. All right? Fear is one of the things that makes people stay stuck in a rat race concept for a very long time, right? Fear of what? Fear of failure, right? Maybe, just maybe, I'm not going to make it. Now, everybody that knows in business, what is the number one way that you fail in business? Or what is pretty much the only way you fail in business? You quit, right? You quit. How can you fail if you are still grinding, right? You can always get better in business because you are controlling your business. But, we feel like we're not going to succeed. A lot of us also feel like we don't have the potential or the capability to do it, right? So this is what we will do. We will think that we can't do it because we don't have the mindset to do it. So we will rather sit down, tell somebody like, hey, listen, can you hire me so I can do all the work in your business? So we're pretty much still doing the work. But now it's just for somebody else. So why would we think that we can't do it if we know how to do the work? Well, obviously something's telling us that we can't do it, and we're probably doubting ourselves. That, you know what, maybe it's not going to work. Maybe I'm going to lose money, which you probably are going to lose money. And there's nothing wrong with losing money. All right, as long as you learn how to take that money. Obviously, Donald Trump bankrupt and became a millionaire back again because he knew how to do it.
He had a good head start.
You know what I mean?
He had a good head start.
Somebody told me don't give no Donald Trump analogies, right? 10 years ago, it was good. 10 years ago, I could have done it, but yeah. Somebody said, John, don't give no Donald Trump analogies. Note to myself, I got to go Bill Gates now. But yeah, we don't believe that we can do it. So one of my things is I wanted to help people know that they can do it. They can get the job done. They can be entrepreneurs. We don't believe that people will support us, right? We are afraid of rejection. Is this true? If you start something that people will not like your products. Can I talk about that for a second? So one of my concepts with that is this. I don't believe that when you start a business, you should look for the approval of everybody within your circle. I think if that is pretty much where your mind is, then you are limiting yourself and you are discouraging yourself. The truth of the matter is, if I grew up on the block with you, right, and we grew up on the block together, we pretty much played ball all the time. We played PS4 pretty much the whole time for years. But you all of a sudden now got this level of enlightening that you want to start your business. In my mind, it's a nice thing to tell you, that's probably good. So you're probably going to announce it, and I'm going to say, man, I'm very happy for you. Probably give you a nice high five, a handshake, and everything like that, until you actually, he can't go to the basketball court no more because now you're actually serious about it, and you can't do all the things that I'm used to you doing. So now you're kind of showing me up in a way. You're making me look like
I gotta step my game up.
Right. So there's no way I'm gonna be quick to support you. So normally what people do is they normally go quiet on you.
Yes.
Right? Now, I'm here to help people. I'm telling you, I'm here to help people. They normally go quiet on you, but can I say that that's normal?
It's very normal.
Right? That's normal, that if you have a surrounding of people that is pushing you, you are blessed. Right? That your business should not be centered around your sphere. It should be centered around your sphere. That the truth of the matter is, when I wrote my book, majority of the people that have not spoken to me for 15, 20 years donated to my book than the people that I speak to on a day-to-day basis. And do you know that I did not look at anybody differently because I understood the concept? That there's going to be some people that listen to me in this room that don't know John from nowhere, but if I mention a business, we'll support quicker. Do you know that there's people in this room right now, right? Oh man, I love you guys. Hi Shannon. Hi Rebecca. These are my great sisters, guys. I love you. There's people in this room right now that they are here that I hardly speak with. I'm looking at some of them right now. Hardly speak with. But yet, they probably saw a couple of posts, a couple of videos, a couple of things that I did, and they said, man, I like that. That's good. And a lot of people that I speak with won't say nothing until they see me. And they say, man, you know what? I love all those videos that you do, John, man. Make sure you continue posting it. So, what am I saying? If I now centered my whole business around approval, then I'm setting myself up for failure and discouragement. So when I start a business, and when you start a business, your mindset should be, listen, man, I need to get everybody around me, whether through social media, whether through door knocking. Like I said, me and Laura, we wanted to start a business, so we went to the streets. Think about that. We went to the streets. We didn't go to all of our friends and say, can you donate $10? Now, we went to say, hey, listen, man, you want to buy this lemonade? It's nice lemonade. You want to buy this sorrel? It's nice sorrel. You want to buy? And we went to the streets to build a business. So, fear of rejection keeps people stuck in there, right? What's another fear that keeps somebody stuck into that system?
Believe it or not, fear of success.
Fear of success.
Some people are
Fear of success might keep people stuck. And that might be just because they just have a lack of what?
Confidence.
Of confidence. Thank you so much. I love that. So a lack of confidence. And where does confidence come from? I believe confidence comes from competence. Right? I believe that as you start learning stuff, if perfect example, if you started working at McDonald's today, anybody did fast food before? All right, I did fast food. This is my first confession of this. I did fast food for a couple of months. It's my first, probably only confession. I did fast food on the low. When I say on the low, it wasn't publicized. It wasn't marketed. I didn't tell nobody. And if you're doing it now, I am not trying to talk about you. I just, I wasn't really promoting it. But I needed to get my book out though. And I didn't know how to make too much extra money. My business at the time, I was running a juice company with my brother. We weren't really making a lot of money in the business, but I needed to get my book out, and I needed to raise about $5,000, right? I needed to raise $5,000 fast, like now. $5,000 in a month and a half. I needed to get that thing moving. I had to go to Wendy's in the nights to do extra hours, clock in, clock out, and there was a major difference between my mindset at the Wendy's versus everybody else that was working at Wendy's. You know what? You know what's the major difference?
You had a purpose, not
There was a purpose. So me, when I walked in, they looked at me very different because my work ethic and everything that I did was just a little bit different. They knew that once the book came out,
You was gone.
I was gone. The boss knew that. He knew that this wasn't no long time. I wasn't building no career in this. I just need this extra $200-300, and that's pretty much what I did. But one thing I learned being in fast food is when I stepped in on first day, number one, I didn't realize how hard they worked. Them guys, they worked extremely hard, right? So when I stepped in, it was like this whole machine happening all around me. That eventually, as they kept teaching me day by day, the confusion started looking like what? Easy. So now when they said junior bacon cheeseburger, I remember junior bacon cheeseburger, I was putting pickles on it at first and slapping it up. It was like, pickles. No, Jonathan, this is not, no pickles is in your bacon cheeseburger. And that's pretty much how it is, because it was confusing on day 1. By day 10, I was doing it like I was working there for months. Right? Most people are afraid of it because they don't know how to do it. They're afraid to make money because they don't know how to make money. They're not studying, they're not reading, they're not doing different things like that. All right. A next reason, step two, why I feel like people are staying there is laziness. Yeah. All right. I think that we have a lot of ideas, but we don't have a lot of action. We have a lot of talk, but we don't have a lot of movement. Especially in our culture today, we have a lot of posting. But I put on Facebook a couple weeks ago that success is not in what you post, it's what you do in between the posts. That's really where success comes from, is what you do in between those posts. If you're now just living the life through social media and you don't actually want to get up and actually grow a business, don't think it's going to happen, because it's not. If you haven't read anything to grow your business, learn how to make money, do all that stuff, don't think that God is just going to now rain $1 million on you, because he's probably not. He's probably going to help. He's probably going to make it even worse if he does, actually. I remember somebody that I knew, they said to me, they were a very spiritual person, they said to me, God is going to cash this $1 million check. So they had $1 million check because we were taught to have faith, right? So she wrote it down and she had it on her desk, and she believed by faith that God was going to help her write the $1 million check, and that $1 million check that was on her table became furniture because it just wasn't happening. And the reason why it wasn't happening is not because God can't do it. I mean, obviously, it's because she just wasn't doing nothing to get there. She wasn't reading, she wasn't pushing herself, she wasn't doing nothing but believe that it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. 2016 is not going to be the year if you're not making no necessary moves. If you feel like you're just going to sit down there and just social media or just talking, hey, listen, man, I want to get it. Trust me, 2016 is not the year for you. Now, that might not be the most motivational thing to say, but that's just cold, hard facts. And that's what this meeting is all about, cold, hard facts. All right? That in order for 2016 to be the year for you, you have to get up and do something about it.
That's right.
You don't feel like it's just going to come to you, because then 2017 is going to come and you're going to say the same thing about that. Didn't we say that about 2015? That this was our year? So what happened? So I think that laziness is one of the things that keeps us stuck, especially, and I don't know if I should say it. Should I say this? I probably shouldn't say this. I should say it?
Go ahead.
Probably should say it.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Sometimes
Go
when I'm in
ahead.
certain rooms, I gotta hold my words sometimes. But truthfully, we have a lot of Christians in here, I see. But truthfully, I feel like a lot of Christians also are lazy. It's one of the things why I find it kind of nervous to hire some Christians. I'm gonna tell you why. Can I say that? Can I just, before you guys take stones, I wanna back it. I started seeing the tenseness, like, did he just say that? Because I believe that a lot of us, we kind of sit down there waiting for God to do it, and God is sitting down there waiting for you to get up and make it happen. I think that we rely so much on faith in God, thinking that He's just going to rain blessings on us, and you haven't got up and you haven't done anything at all. That's not how it works. It takes the working in order for that to happen. You know what I mean? So I think laziness is that. Can I move on? All right. So one of the last things that I can analyze to be the reason why people would stay in that is lack of knowledge. Now, let me ask you guys a question. How many of you have read any success books? Be honest with me this year. Okay. Now, one of the things that I come to realize is, in order for you to really learn this thing called money, business, or anything like that, you're going to have to learn something. You can't sit down and, like, I wouldn't advise anybody to start a business right now just off of just pure enthusiasm. No, don't get me wrong. Like you know, I definitely love enthusiasm. I love for you to start a business, but I do think you should get some type of knowledge in your pocket. Now, I'm not saying to wait until you have perfect knowledge. That's not what I'm saying either. All right, don't wait till you feel like you have everything perfect, because the truth of the matter is, if you wait for everything to be perfect, you will be sitting down waiting for another 60 years of your life. That clarity, can I give you guys one of the most powerful quotes I'm probably going to say tonight? Clarity comes from engagement, not thought. That's not my quote, by the way. That's from this lady named Marie Folio. And you can Google her and do that. But clarity comes from engagement, not thought. Meaning that I get more clarity the more I am engaged in something than me sitting down having a thought conversation about it. That me actually picking up a pen and starting the chapter in my book gives me way more clarity than me saying, you know what, I want to write a book. You know, or me actually saying, you know what, I want to start a nice hair business or a bakery business. I saw that this week actually, right? That you begin to get more clarity on how to do certain things, you know, as you say, okay, let me try to dibble dabble in that, try to get more knowledge on that, try to research this. So as you start doing it, you start seeing what? Okay. And then the truth of the matter is, as you start entering certain areas, I believe that everything starts coming to you on a much faster basis. That knowledge is going to be one of the major keys that's going to help you guys out. So what we decided to do, and this is now our first business launch, what we decided to do is we decided to launch the Table Solutions. Clap it up for that. So the Table Solutions was a concept that I came up with a couple of years ago. I was pretty much sitting down in a room with a couple of people. O'Day was there also. Laura was there also. And a few other people were there, and we were coaching people on entrepreneurship. Now, this was really before, you know, I had all the knowledge I had now on it. But, you know, we said we want to see this need now of helping people start businesses. All right, that's one of my number one things. I believe that, you know, people should live free. People should live life on purpose. I think people should have more control over their finances. I think you should dictate how much you make instead of somebody else dictating how much they think you should make. This is my whole thing. So I noticed that a lot of people, they lack the level of courage, they lack the level of know-how. Some people won't even think about business until they sit down with somebody. Obviously, I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't sit down with somebody 10 years ago. So I do understand the power of that. I do understand also the power of coaching, of getting that day in, day out mentorship. So we said, all right, we want to start this Table Solutions, which the school is called the Table School for Entrepreneurs, and pretty much centered around mentorship and classes, where people can get classes on, you know, different things that can help them make more money. How many of you guys watched the video on how to make six figures, the one that I did? Okay, cool. So those are some of the things that we were thinking about. Obviously, a lot of people. Did I help you guys out in any way, by the way? All right. Obviously, you guys probably wouldn't be in the room here if you did, right? So we were thinking about, all right, people need to know certain things, how to make six figures, how to make seven figures. The only reason why I didn't say how to make seven figures is because I haven't made 7 figures yet. So, I'm not one to teach from where I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't feel like teaching how to be a billionaire, and I haven't walked down that path yet. However, the principles are pretty much the same. If you take the principles, the same way you make 6 figures, make 7 figures. And we thought that, all right, let's help people out. So what I've been doing, I'm going to call this lady up to the front of the room right now. And I know she probably jumped a little bit, but I've been mentoring her now for probably a couple of months now. And she's about to launch her business next year. Very excited about that. She's been great. I pretty much, been helping her, and she's been helping me. As these past couple of weeks, she's been talking to me every week. Every time we meet, she always talks about paying me, and she was wondering why we haven't been so pressured on taking any payments. Because my mindset was like, all right, I want to see the whole development of how we're going to develop her from idea to tangible business in hand. And we started developing that day. And so I just wanted to talk about that real fast. I'm going to call Rosa Velez up to the front of the room. And just have her talk about the whole experience doing the mentorship with me.
Hello, everybody. Hi. My name is Rosa, and I've been sitting down with Jon since September. I think I sat down with him, and I know him and Laura from school. I graduated there, and I also work there, and ever since I graduated, and 7 years, 9 to 5, unhappy. Where's my life going? Not a lot of room for growth at this school, and Jon had left the school, but thank God for Facebook. I connected with him there, and I saw, he had things going for him, and I was like, I always remember that guy. I didn't know him too well. And he's married to Laura? What? I was like, what's going on? So I was happy to see his face, and then watched his 6 figures video. And I was like, as you can see today, he is a great teacher, very inspirational, and I needed that. And I had an idea. And since I've sat with him, it's really evolved, and it's gotten better and better. And so I'm so excited for all the developments and his help, his consistency, and I have a lot more confidence now from the time I sat with him, and I'm really grateful.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for Rosa. So talking to Rosa. Rosa, we met, like she said, in September, and we pretty much, I got her book on the first day and told her that this is going to be the main project right now. We want to put all the ideas on paper and not keep it in thoughts. We didn't want it to just be this whole idea. We're not Socrates and Plato. We wanted to get things down on paper. Actually, Plato's the one that actually wrote it on paper. Actually, Socrates did it. We started talking, and she has this concept that she's going to do next year. She's in the babysitting field right now, and she was pretty much analyzing the field and how it can change. Like there's a lot of things that can change in that industry. Now, one of the things that I love and I think about business is if you are something you love to do or something you're in and you're passionate about it, that's probably a great business to start. I don't think you should start something like if somebody told me to start making Lajesty products, right? That's not going to work for me. That's not my type of field at all. That's Laura's field. That's why she's very good at that. She went to school for the chemistry and stuff like that. But she was in the field, and she's starting a business next year in a few months, right? And the name of that business is called Backpackers. We'll get us out to that. she's working on the website. She's working on a lot of different things like that. We're working on the app, all the different things like that. And basically, the whole concept is, as we kept on sitting down and speaking, one of the unique things that we saw was a lot of babysitters all around us. And we just felt like this industry was kind of boring in a way. Where they would just come in, they would sit down, and half of them would fall asleep. With the child, especially if the child's not doing anything, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go. And we said, man, this is not really as impactful for the child as possible. If you look at this like a normal job, then you're probably not going to give the child the best experience that you possibly can. And I don't know about you, but for me, obviously my son is here recording me, but for me as a parent, if I ever had a babysitter that came in, I would rather that babysitter do a lot more than just sit down and watch him play video games. So she's now creating this whole concept where parents can pretty much choose the different services or the different things that they want their child to experience through this program. And basically the whole concept is they will go on the website, they will pick the services and pick the products, and that will go right into the backpack. So every child will have a personalized backpack that each and every person will come in, like when the babysitter comes in, which we don't call it babysitter, we call it backpackers. When they come in, they pretty much have pretty much everything for that child all documented, and whether or not it's different services or different learning things that the parent wants, it kind of revolutionized the industry. It's a little bit more than just being a normal, typical babysitter. And we thought that if we do that, then we will probably get better people in the industry also than just people that just want to sit down there and sleep on your child. So give us up for Rosa. She's definitely developing the business very much. I told her, that I've been pretty much helping her every step of the way. I told her that, listen, if I'm mentoring you, you have access to call me. Laura would see me on the phone sometimes with Laura, with her for like 2-3 hours, and we'll just be brainstorming, crunching up a lot of the ideas, making sure that we did. But one of the main things I told her, and this is where my thinking always goes, one of the main things I told her is we're starting a business, so one of the things that we need to make sure that we have down packed is what? Sales. Obviously, that's my type of thinking, right? It's like, all right, let's get the price points, let's get the pressure, how much is the company keeping, how much are we charging, and this is all the stuff that we pretty much did, and she didn't really understand that concept at first. So we sat down, and now she understands it very well. She knows how to put now the numbers done. So I know I had a lot of people that wanted me to mentor them, and I wanted to say that what we did was we put together a program and have people outside of myself that is willing to help mentor, willing to help do that. So pretty much you can give O'Dane your email after today is over, and we'll definitely get to you starting 2016, because I think that if there's anything that I would rather dedicate my life to more than anything else is to help people start a business. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Also, what we're going to do next year is we're going to start classes. It's going to be online classes, and it's going to be something where people can now go online and get all the classes. We pretty much put every step into 6 parts, from thought to registering. Pretty much everything. A lot of the major thing that we want people to learn is the sales aspect of it. One thing Laura even learned throughout this whole process, sometimes you can get caught up in the making of the product, but you can have a perfect product, but if nobody's buying it, it's not a great business. Anybody watch Shark Tank before?
Oh, no.
All right, like how many great businesses walk through Shark Tank? Probably a lot of them, right? And what is always, can I say always? Always the first question they ask.
What are your sales?
What are your sales? Like, that's really the determining factor. All right, what are your sales like? You know what I mean? Because this could be so great, but if you're not selling it, then it's not a business. It's just still a hobby that you like to do. So, one of the things that we do for a living is we do direct sales. And, we were saying to ourselves, we make a lot of Fortune 500 companies filthy rich. Don't get me wrong, we make a lot of money with it too, but we're making them filthy rich because we do their sales. So if we know a lot about that, I'm quite sure we can give back to small businesses and teach them how to do it the same way that we did it. So that's what we're going to do next year for that, all right?